In this video, let's explore how to execute SQL queries using Python. We will discuss the tools and techniques to seamlessly integrate SQL with Python for efficient data manipulation and management. Why should we use SQL with Python? Well, there are many reasons, but here are a few key benefits. We can combine the powerful SQL queries with Python's flexibility. We can process the query results using Python's data science libraries. We can automate database operations and create data pipelines. And finally, we can build database-driven applications. Essentially, SQL handles data querying, and Python handles the processing of the results. When working with databases in Python, various libraries are available, each offering unique features and capabilities. The SQLite 3 library is built into Python and is ideal for working with SQLite databases, which are great for small applications, prototyping, and testing. mysql-connector is a popular choice for PostgreSQL databases, providing enterprise-grade features and performance. The mysql-connector is the official connector for MySQL databases, implemented purely in Python. Finally, there is SQLAlchemy, which is a powerful SQL toolkit and object relational mapper, or ORM, that abstracts SQL operations using Python classes. Here are the connection examples for these libraries. For SQLite, we import the SQLite 3 library and then connect to the database file example.db. For PostgreSQL, we import the mysql-2 library and connect to the database by specifying the database name, user, password, and host. For MySQL, we import the mysql.connector library and connect to the database by providing the host, user, and password. Let's see how to create a basic connection and query in Python. The steps are as follows. First, we import the necessary library. Second, we connect to the database. Third, we create a cursor object. Fourth, we execute the query. And fifth, we process the results. Here is the example code. First, we import the SQLite 3 library. Then we connect to the database example.db. Next, we create a cursor object using con.cursor. After that, we execute a SQL query to select the ID, name, and email from the customers table where the status is active, limiting the results to 5. Following the query execution, we fetch the results using cursor.fetchAll, and then iterate through the results to print each row. Finally, we close the cursor and the database connection using cursor.close and con.close. It is important to use parameterized queries. Parameterized queries separate the SQL code from the data values, which prevents SQL injection attacks, improves the query performance, and handles the data types properly. On the other hand, string concatenation is vulnerable to injection and leads to lower performance. Here is a code example. First, we import the SQLite 3 library. Then we connect to the database example.db and create a cursor object. After that, we have an example of what is wrong. If we take the user input directly, the code becomes vulnerable to SQL injection. Instead, we can use parameterized queries using the question mark style or the named parameter style, which are shown in the code. For inserting multiple parameters in order, we can pass a tuple containing the values. There are different methods to fetch the results. The fetch1 method returns a single row as a tuple or none if there are no more rows available. The fetchAll method returns all the remaining rows as a list of tuples. The fetchMany method returns the next size rows as a list of tuples. We can also configure the connection to return rows as dictionaries instead of tuples. Here is the code example. After connecting to the database, we can execute a query to select the ID, name, and price from the products table. We can fetch one row at a time with the fetch1 method. To fetch all rows, we can execute the query again and use the fetchAll method. After fetching the data, we can loop through the rows to print the results. For fetching the data in batches, we can use the fetchMany method and specify the number of rows we want in each batch. Finally, We can use the row factory to fetch the results in a dictionary format, which allows us to access the data by column name. A transaction is a sequence of operations performed as a single logical unit of work, where all operations must complete successfully or none are applied. Transactions have the ACID properties: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Atomicity ensures that all operations complete, or none do. Consistency ensures that the database remains in a consistent state. Isolation ensures that transactions execute independently. Durability ensures that changes persist after success. Here is a code example. We connect to the banking.db database inside the try block. After that, we start the transaction and execute the SQL queries. If everything goes well, we commit the changes. If any error occurs, we roll back the changes. Finally, we close the connection in the finally block. We can combine SQL's querying power with Pandas' data analysis capabilities, which allows us to load SQL data directly into data frames, perform complex data transformations, and create visualizations of SQL data. First, we connect to the SQL database, then we load the data into a Pandas data frame, and finally we perform analysis and visualization. Here is the code example. First, we import the necessary libraries. Then we connect to the sales.db database. After that, we can directly read a SQL query into a data frame using pd.read_SQL_query. Another way is to first create a cursor object, execute the query, and then create a data frame from the cursor results. Then we can perform data analysis using Pandas methods such as resample and groupb. Finally, we can write the results back to the database using to_SQL. SQLAlchemy ORM allows us to map database tables to Python classes and rows to objects. This allows us to work with Python objects instead of raw SQL, define schemas using Python classes, write database-agnostic code, and create advanced relationship models. Here is a code example. First, we import the necessary modules from SQLAlchemy. Then we create an engine and a base class. After that, we define the models or tables as Python classes. In the example, we have the user and order classes, which are linked with a relationship. After defining the tables, we create them using base.metadata.createAll. Then we create a session and add objects to the database. Finally, we commit the changes. Here are some of the best practices to follow. Always use parameterized queries to prevent SQL injection attacks. Close the connections and cursors when done to prevent the resource leaks. Use connection pooling for applications with multiple users. Keep the database logic separate from the application logic. Use migrations for database schema changes. In summary, Python offers multiple libraries for database interactions. Parameterized queries ensure security and performance. Transactions maintain the data integrity. Pandas integration enables powerful data analysis. And SQLAlchemy ORM provides a Python-centered approach. If you want to learn more, you can refer to the resources on the slide. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.